Alright, it's the weekend, but the sheep have moved on to the halfway point in our plot, and it's too good an opportunity to miss. So I'm going to zip the quad bike up there and see if I can get them to the gate, and then if I get them into the second half, we haven't done the fencing yet, so they can escape back up the hill where they belong. So time is of the essence, let's go. Hoping that they're just up here, because if they are, I can hear them. And they're right near the gate. Let's not. Lost the sheep. Oh wow. Is it true? Can it be? Oh, amazing. That is if those are the sheep that I spotted. Of course it could be another bunch, but excelente. There they are. Oh. They look guilty. There was a lamb though with them before. I opened this in a previous video to let any of them through that I'm going to try and stretch that up so it looks a bit less sheep. Yeah, so we haven't done the fencing. You can see a bit of fencing sticking out there, but I've got a fence from there to that line of spruce at the far side down there. So this bit, although still ours, is just open up the hill, and the farmer owns the top half all the way up there. So if they're in here, they can get up to his for free. They don't need me chasing them around the plot. Great, no sheep. I reckon they're hiding from me, aren't they? They're decoys. There's going to be a whole bunch of them there laughing at me because I've just zoomed over here. Morning. They're mocking me. Sheep were just here outside of the window this morning going na 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 na. So either they're getting straight back in or they were hiding. I think they were probably hiding because I saw a couple more up the hill as well. So today the sheep win. Travis Perkins are arriving today, or at least they've emailed me to say they are. So I am going to try and get some of these panels made to go here. Going to move the solar panels. They're going to go unplugged for the minute, but down there, because I'm going to build a solar array, like a stand for them. That's going to be kind of cool. So yeah, in anticipation of the Travis Perkins delivery actually being here, going to get some panels made, and hopefully we'll get something enclosed by the end of the day. I don't know how far down we'll get because we need a few panels, but plus, can you see behind me? It's like more rain, so we'll see how it goes. We'll get something made. Given the weather's a bit stop-start today, I think we'll go and have lunch in the Defender. If you're wondering why, well, the audio sounds a bit funky here, doesn't it? Where's the sound better? Maybe. If you're wondering why I was cutting both ends of the wood off, it's because if you see pieces like this is the end as it came from the timber yard. Usually these ends are all a bit furry, and if you get a nice cut, you know that it's your cut, so you know it's done to the angle you want. But often, I don't know why this is the case, but you'll see knots. So this is the end. I know this is sort of the same dimension, but this is the end that you'd be nailing into, and you see there's a knot just there. And if you fire a nail into that, either it'll hit the knot and the knot is harder wood, so you'll have the nail not go in as well there, or this is somewhere where it's likely to split. And sometimes because the timber's been cut for a while and it's a bit drier, you'll have splits in the end as well. So what I usually do is I just check both ends, and if I'm taking a slither off, you haven't got much choice because you haven't got enough wood. But if you're taking a big piece off, sometimes it's better to take half that off one end and half off the other end, so that you can get a nice, like the best ends, and then when you fire your nails in, it's less likely to split the wood. What we got today? Got sandwiches and tomatoes. Try to add something a bit more interesting to every video, because otherwise it's just going to be me nailing lots of bits of wood together. So we're across the road, we're not in our land, it's sort of Forestry Commission stuff over here, so I'm not getting in anybody else's way. Following a deer trail, when there's nobody here, you can really see where they walk. Country parks and stuff, it could be dogs, it could be all sorts, but when you it's somewhere that very few people go, it's really interesting to see. It's handy as well because it just means that I'm coming up to a big area of ferns right now, and if there was no deer path, it would mean that I'd have quite a hard time getting through it. But when you get a bit closer, I found a trail through here the other day. Anyway, the reason we're up here is because there's a barn here which must have been made at the same time as the barn that we have. So that's why it always looked interesting. But there's a really spectacular tree over here, which is why we're really here, this one here. And we're trying to collect seeds at the moment with the plan of planting them over the winter, because I said in another video, I think we've got 35,000 trees ish to plant up, and I think it will really help us to get some planted up so that we don't have to buy them all, because they're not that much each, but even if you get good value, they're £1 each. And that's £35,000 on trees, which we really want to do, but that's an expense just for kind of like gardening expense. We're not getting a house or anything for that money, or a car or a holiday, or we'd have a lot of holidays for that, couldn't you? But this tree here, where possible, I'm trying to collect the seeds from as close to where we are, because we know that it'll grow in the conditions. Luckily we have a lot of really impressive species around us, so it's not hard to find them. Well, maybe it is hard to find them, but it's not. They are there. Cool. The big, what's this one? I don't know what that is. It's got kind of maple. It probably is a maple, actually. It's got a slightly, yeah. So this is the maple. Comes down into this stream down here. I'm getting a bit better at my tree species. Now I'm reading that book, trying to discern the difference between Aspen and poplar, that's something I'm working on at the minute. Aspen has white bark, poplar probably doesn't, but what about silver birch versus aspen, which both have silver? My suspicion is that one has smaller leaves than the other one, but I'm figuring that out at the moment. There's this huge, I found two of them, probably be a bit easier to see up there, but there's this massive waterfall. The one at the other side of our property is a lot of water, but quite a low drop, so low head height. It's maybe 3 meter drop, but it's about 10 meters wide, all funneling into two waterfall spouts. So that's a very big, loud waterfall. This one I'm coming up to show you now is kind of trickle, but it's quite high. It looks quite spectacular actually. There's a very big maple next to it. I'll show you when I get there, because otherwise just it's miles away. Seems to come up from there somewhere, trickles down. It's quite impressive. It's got all these roots and trees that have collapsed. This is the big maple. The moss is spectacular. And then Big Daddy over here. Our neighbour has the tallest tree in, I think it's in the country, it might be like Britain, UK, rather than just Scotland, but it is big. We went to his neighbours and we had a look at it across the way, but yeah, it's really, really big. It's either going to be it's going to be sequoia, isn't it? Giant redwood. This one though, can't quite tell what it is, but like it is big. The problem I'm finding is I always thought you could just grab seeds from trees, but turns out if they're pine cone type trees, that you have to get them while they're in the tree, and that's all very well if it's a small one, but when it's a mile high. I read an article that said forestry workers have to go up in a kind of crane and cut them off, because by the time they've fallen on the ground, they've opened, the pine cone's open and all the seeds have dispersed already, so you have to get them when they're closed in order to get the seeds. You might be lucky and find a few on the ground that are still have one or two in, but generally speaking, the way it's designed is that they open up there and it all blows away. So I've got pine cone just here, quite big ones. This is already sort of fallen apart from those things, but there's seeds in here. Probably not. Also looks like squirrels and things just get to it, because sometimes you see pine cones that have sort of already been chewed to pieces with something. So I can't find, there's got to be something in here surely. Oh, they look like seeds. That's 3 seeds. Can't quite believe how many seeds I managed to get from that. And not all of that seeds, there's some other bits in it too, but oh, got a free spider. The post has arrived. What do we got? Oh, Travis Perkins delivered my stuff, and they have sent us t-shirts. That's good, isn't it? They sent me quite a few. That one grey. Reckon they got my size right? Nah, probably not. Extra large, medium. This one is large. Oh, it's in my mic. Is this one a small? Extra large. Okay. They think I'm chunky. It was nice though. So, in this one we have so we, or more specifically my wife, is going to have a go at making hand soap, because we've got that septic tank that you've seen that's a biocomposting septic tank, and putting stuff down the drain such as soap or dishwashing stuff is not as good for it as it could be. So she's got some creamed coconut, vegetable glycerin, tea of India, chai, that's not good. But this is all for her soap. So we already make our own laundry detergent, so that's already taken care of. She wants to make some fabric softener as well. This, I think, is a cup holder. Yep, cup holder for a quad bike, because whenever I make a cup of tea and then I get on the quad bike and then I try and drive anywhere, it's just annoying because I don't have much time for tea. So when I've made a tea, I want to be able to take it with me. So I got this fabric one because I can put cans of beer in it as well, and that just hangs off the side. This is one of those orders where, you know, when you buy it and it's like £3 and you're like, oh great, and then the postage is £17. So that was annoying, but I was already at the end of the checkout and you're like, I've done it now, haven't I? And then this one, I'm hoping one of these days this pump's going to arrive for the water. Yeah. Okay. Soap, more soap, and dispensing bottles for her soap. So it's mainly soap and a cup holder. Still waiting on that pump. Okay, so these are obviously not panels for the wall up there, but I had to get the solar panels out of the way, and it'd be nice to be generating power because of what I mentioned in previous videos about setting the generator up every day. So I just whipped these frames together. It means I can get the solar panels out of the way, I can get this job done. They're just temporarily set up. Everything right now is fairly temporary. When you have nothing, you need everything quite quickly. So it is my intention on making a solar tracker which operates off of gearing and weights, so there's no power needed. So the frames themselves I've made so that I can keep them. The supports on the back I've just tacked in place just to hold it for now. I also don't know if this position is going to be right or I'm going to have to move them, but I'm going to wire the solar panels, and it's 20 to 2, so I think today's job is just going to be getting these solar panels back up and running, and then tomorrow we'll probably be getting on with the wall over there. So today's job now is solar. Okay, so now we're on to wiring, which is not really my forte, but I've just about figured it out. You've got these solar connectors, which are pretty easy. They're easy to connect. They just pop in. That's both sides, and it like those bits just connect like that. But the connections at the back here need a special crimping tool, and you've got to crimp these little things in and then plug them in. For this specific configuration, our battery bank won't accept it. It needs to be wired in a special way, and I'll go over it in a bit more detail once we've done it, but I've got to put two into one like this. So I'm going to do a bit of wiring here. Sorry for the bin tub workbench at the minute. It's about all we've got. I'll get something better figured out soon, but for now, parcels and workbenches are going to be done on the top of bins. So I'll do this, and then once I've got all the wiring made up, then we'll go over to the panels, and I'll go over how we're going to connect them and why we're connecting them like that. Okay, so we've got those wired up. As I said, our little box of power, you have to wire it in a peculiar way. So it's got a really high, I don't know what it is, I haven't checked the figures, I just know that this is the number that I have to deal with. But it's got a really high charging capacity, but you can't get that from 3 panels, which would work that way if it was a normal solar system. You have to over panel what we've got. So effectively we only need 3 if it was a normal system, but because of this system, I think it's the volts, you have to limit the volts. So in order to reduce the volts, I'm really guessing at this, I watched the video and I half remember it. Point is, I'm doing it right. In order to reduce the volts, you need to connect them in series or parallels, whatever. It's like 3 wired together, 3 wired together, and then you connect those together into a Y piece, and then you just have two wires running up to the box. Can you tell I'm not an electrician? I'm not anything, I just kind of have a go, right? And if it explodes, we'll have a go next time. I ordered all my connectors, well, all the solar actually, including all the stuff we might be getting in the near future from James at Bimble Solar. And he's a really great guy. He spent a long time on the phone to me, explaining everything. But all the connectors come in this little sweet bag. And I opened the box and I was like, oh man, like freaking definitely thought there was going to be sweets in there. And then I opened this second bag, and it's like the best thing ever, because not only are there sweeties in there, but you know I like stickers. Sent me stickers too, so got stickers and sweeties, which was great because I opened it already last week sometime, and I was like, oh, pfft. And then today I was like, I better get the other connectors out, and there are sweeties that are waiting for me. So I found it quite hard to find red solar cable. Seems to be everybody wants to do black, but as I've just shown you, not knowing the difference between series and parallel, I'm no electrician, so I really want to know which one's live and which one's not live. And the back of these pins have a plus and a minus one, so that's fairly easy. And also these connectors here are a male and female, so as long as you wire it right in the first place, you kind of can't get it wrong, because you know they don't plug in if they're the wrong one. But just for my peace of mind, I found some red solar cable so that I know that that's live. I've unplugged, so this is all connected under here. We've got 3 connected, and then they go into that, like 2 there, and then that just means there's 1 cable coming out. So I'm going to leave that here. This is now ready to plug on there, but I'm not going to plug it on because then this becomes live. I'm going to uncoil both of those all the way up to where the power bank is. I've got some ducting so that it's protected, and then that means from there I can get another couple of connectors on, get that onto the box, and then I don't think today is the best day to show you how much difference it makes doubling up the panels. I don't know, it might be twice as good, it might not be. It might be one of those things where more panels just is a little bit better, but I'm going to finish up that wiring, and then hopefully we'll be back on with charging. Sun's popped out just in time. I'm gonna duck this all later because it's I had images of it going in really nicely, really smoothly, but actually it looks like it's going to take me a good hour to thread that all through, so I'll do that another time. But generating 2 kilowatts of power right now, which is really great because the sun's not in the ideal spot. It is nice and bright though, so that could be why we're generating 1 kilowatt. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. That's got it all moved, and it's got a job done at the same time, which is you know, two birds, one stone. So we'll see how that works from now on. The next one will hopefully be those walls. Whether I get them completely assembled or not, I'm not sure. So if you'd like to come and join us, I'd love to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.